Hello and welcome to No Load Time, episode 101. My name is Obed Velez, and with me is the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's good, Nolo time? Obed, good to be with you again, my friend. At last week's episode was so much fun, reminiscing, going through all the top moments that we've had, the highs and the lows of things that we discussed priorly on the podcast. I enjoyed that episode so much, but it's on to the next future 100 episodes that we got coming through here, and starting with episode 101, right?
On to the feature with some breaking news, which is great. But yeah, man, I was pretty excited. Last week was great. Again, we hit the 100 mark. I thought we were not going to pull it because, we're busy guys. I have a family. We both are very busy with work. So just to see the achievement of being able to do that. I mean, there's other podcasts out there that have way larger audiences that we have that don't reach 100. So again, thank you guys, and thank you, Joe, and thank you myself for paying the bills. So like,
We do it. We do it.
we do it. Hey, you know what? It's a hobby. You gotta pay the price for art. It's fancy over here. So, but yeah, man. Joe, how you doing, bro?
Dude, I'm doing great. Since our last episode, got some more downtime again. Was able to go out and watch Hobbs and Shaw. That was only because it was recommended. I wasn't originally planning on seeing that movie in theaters. In transparency, I watched the last three Fast and Furious I'd seen in theaters. Just they're fun summer films. But this one I wasn't necessarily planning on seeing in theaters, but I heard enough good things about that I had the opportunity to go out and see it, and I did. Um, and it's definitely not a Fast and Furious movie. Like, I don't think you should go into it and expect to watch these epic racing and this dynamic. But there are parts of it that are very Fast and Furious. The family dynamic, the personality traits, obviously characters we already know from the Fast and Furious, The Rock, Jason Statham's character, right? Hobbs and Shaw, as it's called, and their family dynamic, and individually to them, right? The Rock's character, Hobbs, his family, and Shaw's character and his family, and they kind of bridge that together. It's always been an important part of the Fast and Furious franchise. With that being said, we do get there's two sequences, but there's one in particular. Well, no, there's three sequences I should say, that are some really cool car sequences, just like you would expect in a Fast and Furious type of movie, right? But there's one in particular that really stands out, that you're on the edge of your seat just watching this incredible car sequence unfold. So I won't spoil it, but it's definitely worth checking out when you get the chance. Idris Elba, fantastic actor. Whenever you have a movie like this that's supposed to be a silly, summer flick, and you've got, as he refers to himself, the Black Superman, character in this movie, where it's like ridiculous that he's got all this power and strength, and literally a character that, spoiler alert, was supposed to be dead and comes back to life. Like, it's like literal resurrection in a movie. That's literally impossible. Um,
Improbable.
Right, improv. But when you have a character like that, you have to really buy into this
Yeah.
craziness, right? Having an actor like Idris Elba really helps, and Idris Elba always brings it, right? He always really brings it as an actor. So, as ridiculous as it is, I was fully engaged with the villain, and I believed what he was doing, and even though it made no sense and it's ridiculous, because it's Idris Elba, it was a fantastic performance. But yeah, the way it ends, they set it up for future movies. There's two interesting cameos that are not discussed in any of the trailers and stuff. If you've on social media, probably hasn't spoiled for some people. One that's not too surprising. Another one that was like, oh wow, and I believe set up something for future movies. So I won't talk about, for those who have not seen it, maybe are going to see it this weekend. But yeah, there's two cameos in there that are pretty cool. Um, yeah, they're definitely set it up for future movies. There's like three end credit sequences.
What?
And yeah, dude, yeah, man. So they definitely set it up for future stuff. So we'll
That's
see.
crazy. Yeah, I actually watched the Fate of the Furious
The
last
Charlie Theron.
last week. Yeah, yeah. I actually watched it last week for the first time. I hadn't watched it
Sure.
And that it was probably my least favorite of the bunch, because it was like really nonsensical. And I mean,
That's kind of been the trajectory of them.
yeah, I
Just
mean,
more and more out of the reality and more into
I know.
crazy.
And fear, the last one before that was fine. Even you had the flying cars in Dubai and
Yeah.
all that stuff. It was ridiculous, but it was fine. I think I just really missed the Vin Diesel Paul Walker thing.
Yeah,
That I think that's what it was missing that. And
I agree.
not that the movie felt empty, because they really did a good job with bringing Shaw and having this other dynamic with the villain and all that. That was kind of different. And again, the whole family dynamic and thing, that's very important in the Fast and the Furious series. But I mean, I watched it. It was fine. I mean, I probably won't watch it again because it
I
was.
haven't seen it again since I saw it in theaters.
Yeah, it's one of those one-off movies. Really, it's like you watch it, it's like, yeah, it's fine, and just keep moving. Um,
Except for that baby sequence where he's got the headphones on the baby. Is
that was so
that
stupid.
great or what? I love that sequence.
Really, it was so. I mean, it was funny, right? Because they did it. They played the silliness of
Yes.
having a shootout while carrying a baby.
Yes.
The whole thing. And even I was watching it with my wife. And my wife was like, this is so ridiculous. Like, I know
Well, I
it's.
think the most stupid thing is The Rock pushing a torpedo with his pink with his the tips of his finger. That was probably
Yeah.
the epitome of the most wildest.
There's a bunch, yeah, yeah, and The Rock being this superhuman, sort of dude, just flinging dudes around the room, and yeah, it was so dumb. It's, again, it's dumb fun, right? Is
Right, right. It's
that
fun.
if you have to check out reality
Yes.
before going into watching one of these movies, which is crazy, because when you go back, like the first three Fast and
Wasn't
Furious,
like that.
well, they were really they were not super real, right? But especially if you like drive a car, these things aren't real. But at the same time, they were very grounded. But then when the fourth one, the first one directed by James Wan, I believe that was the first one. I was like started going off the rails from there. Which those subsequent movies were really good up until like Fate. So yeah, Joe, a small independent movie that you may or may not heard about came out on Blu-ray on Tuesday. So,
Yeah, I picked
ma-
mine up too.
yep, managed to get my copy of Avengers Endgame, 4K, the Target limited edition, which I think Target has the best limited edition Blu-rays
I agree.
out of all the retailers. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I haven't even opened it yet. I'm probably gonna watch it tomorrow. So definitely looking forward to that. I may splice it in two. Uh,
It's a
just
long movie.
it's a long movie, so may splice in two. I don't know, but I'll try to just roll it because I will splice it out of respect for my family. But you know what? I haven't watched Lord of the Rings in a while, so I think it's about time we start rolling those long movies again.
I like it.
Yeah, Joel. Before we jump into the news, real quick, we want to do a just give you guys a reminder that we still have our giveaway ongoing, and we're giving away two games for PS4: Metal Gear Solid 5, the Complete Edition, and Assassin's Creed. Um, so here's Metal Gear. Just so if you're watching the video version, yeah, I'm holding it up. Yeah,
Assassin's Creed.
and Angel's giving away Assassin's Creed, the Ezio collection for PS4. So just a reminder that you guys can put in for an entry. Basically, all you need to do is send us an email to nolotime@gmail.com and tell us what your favorite game ever is and why. We'll discuss in the show, and we'll you just pick one game. It's like, tell us which one do you prefer. We'll send it to you, and we'll pick two winners next week. So just a quick reminder, nolotime@gmail.com. And remember to follow us on social media and follow us on your favorite podcast service. Joe, let's go ahead and jump in because we have breaking news today. This is special. It's a momentous occasion, Joe. There are very strong rumors that pretty much the Ewan McGregor coming back as Obi-Wan is done deal. They're expecting some sort of confirmation next week, more than likely Friday, which I believe it's when the D23 Star Wars stuff is going to come out, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yes.
So the rumor is that this was once planned as a movie, based on the reception for Solo. Disney slash Lucasfilm decided to go in a different direction, and this now seems to be evolving into a Disney Plus series, not just a movie. So I am very excited. I am so excited. So Joel, I am so excited for Disney Plus that I've already picked my birthday gift in October, and I want to get an Apple TV 4K because I need to have this stuff running right. I'm a home theater nut. I need to have these things plugged in the right way. I have, my TV is an Android TV. I'm sure that there's going to be an app, but I just need this. I just need this running properly. So I think that's what my gift is gonna be for my birthday, because I'm not gonna go through hoops, dude. I am so excited for Disney Plus that I'm going out of my way to buy another box just so I can get better quality out of the service, Joe. So man, how do you feel about Obi-Wan being a series?
I really hope this is true. I believe it's the case, but I really hope it to be true. For so long, we've talked about this. It's actually one of our earliest episodes in the history of No Load Time. We talked about the Obi-Wan standalone film. Believe it or not, maybe like episode 15, 19, something like that.
Probably, yeah.
Um, but so I'm really hopeful that this is going to be true. I can tell you, and I believe Obed, it's the same for you. Obi-Wan's my favorite Star Wars
Yep.
character.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
we're both in the same boat about that. And that's obviously not obviously, but I did actually watch the original trilogy first before going and watching the prequels and then watching everything else. So you only get a small taste. You get the Alec Guinness Obi-Wan just in that one movie. He's throughout the other movies, of course, as the Force Ghost and is an important character. And I connected to even this small bit of that character. You still connect and feel it very strongly. But obviously the prequels gave it so much life, right? Gave
Yeah.
gave it such a great representation, and that has a lot to do with Ian McGregor. So hearing that the reports is that at D23, they're going to talk about obviously the Disney Plus plans and bring out Ian McGregor saying he's back to reprise the roles Obi-Wan Kenobi for a Disney Plus series. That's great. You know why? Because from what we've heard, Disney Plus is going to be a very high budgeted, very very, very, very high budgeted, a lot of resources being put behind it type of platform, right? This is not going to be your regular type of ABC family, show. This is going to be like real HBO kind of level stuff. This is what we've heard about it, if not even maybe better quality. We don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean,
So,
they're going after Netflix. Yeah, so
yeah,
that's a big thing, right? They're going after
right.
Netflix, and they're gonna put as much as they need to get to Netflix, right? Netflix has its, like the Marvel shows were really well done, and they all had special effects, and they were just really uh, accurate to the source material productions. But then you have the create the their own IPs like Stranger Things, which have a ton of money behind. I mean, Stranger Things for being a TV series, I think that the effects are very well done on Stranger Things for sure. Like, it would compare to a movie. But yeah, go ahead.
No, you're right. No, you're right, and I agree. But for you to do Star Wars on the small screen,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and you're talking about one the biggest fandom of all time that was going to be judging this thing, like you can't just have like decent effects. You've got to have strong
Oh yeah.
effects because people go crazy over. I mean, obviously we know how people feel about the prequels, but people go crazy over the stuff. Yeah, Last Jedi. I mean, we've seen the way the man babies are.
Yeah.
So like Disney is really serious about this. Obviously, if they're announcing this, that means it's in development, which means we won't see it for at least another year and a half, if not more time than that. Because we got to count our blessings when this thing does finally open up. And by the way, Obed, I believe originally it was supposed to be in August. I know they ended up moving it later to October, right? But I think when they first announced it was going to be August, this time we were going to actually have the service. But with that being said, like when they do officially launch this, when it does start day one in October, we're going to have 2 Star Wars content ready for us day one as new content. We're gonna have the Mandalorian and we're gonna have the Clone Wars series.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's Christmas for us, so of course, but you trying to get this thing day one makes complete sense. But then it's like it's cool because they're not just selling us on what is coming right now, but obviously what Marvel did in Hall H, talking about the Disney Plus stuff that's coming out through the next subsequent couple years there. The same thing here with the Star Wars properties, right? Like I'm sure they'll talk about the future of Star Wars and what their next film is, but then if they're subsequently their next film and then their next series is going to be on Disney Plus is going to be Obi-Wan, that's a great outlook, right? Like that's the way to really get us excited. And I like that they're going to be taking their time with it. We'll have enough Star Wars content when they take a break from the film standpoint. We'll have the good stuff there. When the films do come back and we have this new trilogy that's in the works, when they just come in, it'll be exciting. But then we also have another new series to look forward to, and I'm sure The Mandalorian will have a second season, right? So my point is, it's a win for us as fans.
Absolutely.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah. What do you think, Joe? Because the way that Solo ended, Solo was intended to be the beginning of another side story, right? They were telling you the story of Han Solo and how the Millennium Falcon came to be and all this stuff, but it also ended with a cliffhanger that's setting up another thing that ties into Obi-Wan. So I'm wondering if Disney's now, of course, they reevaluated not doing more standalone films. What if that planned story that they were wanting to tell at the end of Solo, what if they incorporate that into this Obi-Wan show? What do you think of that?
That's a really good question, Obed, and I think fans will love that simply for the fact of the connection between Darth Maul and Obi-Wan. What they did on Star Wars Rebels, trying to close that chapter and saying, "Hey, this is official canon here." But
what if we get what if the series ends with a live action remake of that scene?
I was just going to say that the fans would not be mad to see the same thing all over again, to get to that point of what happened right up before that point, and then make that point, that sequel, that moment again. I think fans would love that, and quite frankly, I mean, I'm not the kind of person who says that we're entitled, but I do feel like we kind of deserve to see that, right? If you're going to bring the character back, and if you are going to incorporate what you were leading into with Solo, that's great. The other thing about that, Obed, is that and in this report from Deadline, is it was talking about how like Boba Fett was originally going to be a film, and there's talk about that now also becoming a series too, right? So like, what if, obviously, the way I interpreted the end of Solo was that was going to lead into the Boba Fett movie, because that was going to be the Crimson Dawn group led by Darth Maul in the books, right? That was going to be his group, and Kira was going to be leading that group, and that Boba Fett's a part of the Crimson Dawn, and then like there's a battle between this criminal underworld group, right? But what if then that case they're gonna try and make, obviously, like, it's connected to Star Wars canon, but what if they're kind of making their own little universe where the Mandalorian and Obi-Wan and these things kind of cross into each other somehow? I mean, there's a lot of opportunities from a story standpoint. Star Wars got a lot of that gray area that they can come into.
Yeah, well, the thing with the Mandalorian is probably not going to be very tied to. It could probably be tied to Boba Fett, right? But probably not too much to Obi-Wan because of the timing of it. The Obi-Wan show being between 3 and 4, and then the Mandalorian being between 6 and 7. So that time's not going to work, but they can definitely connect even the Boba Fett storyline with the Obi-Wan stuff, because they're contemporary and in Tatooine. And I hope that we get to see more Jabba the Hutt on this Obi-Wan thing, because clearly Obi-Wan knows what's going on in Mos Eisley and what's going on in all these places in Tatooine. It's like, clearly he's just not spending the rest of his life by himself in the hut in the desert. he's going around Tatooine. He knows what's around it, because he tells Luke, it's like, oh yeah, it's a hive of it's common villainy and all this stuff. He knows what's happening. So yeah, just to see how he interacts with all these characters in Tatooine, and maybe interact with some Force ghosts, and continue his training, because that was part of the reason
Qui-Gon.
yeah, part of the reason he went to Tatooine was to continue his training. So yeah, I am excited, dude. I'm getting another box for this thing because I'm not gonna wing it. I'm not gonna wing it. I really I am very excited about Obi-Wan. More than even the Mandalorian, which looks great, but Obi-Wan's the dude.
He's the man.
Yeah. So you can't go wrong with that. Joel, there's apparently there's some rumors that they are planning to reboot or spin off the GI Joe franchise, which we haven't seen a movie in a while for GI Joe. Wow, I want to say it's been a good 8 years probably. So
Right.
it's been quite a while. But they're I guess planning a spin-off of the GI Joe franchise, which with Snake Eyes, which is probably everyone's favorite character from GI Joe. Of course, is the ninja. Come on, you know. I mean, it's Sergeant Slaughter. I like Sergeant Slaughter. It's good. GI Joe, whatever.
Snake
But
Eyes.
Snake Eyes, though. Yeah. So, Joel, can you give us more info on that, man?
Absolutely. Reports coming out from the Hollywood Reporter that the actor Henry Golding is set to star off in the G.I. Joe spinoff Snake Eyes. Now, that's interesting. The wording is spinoff, right? Not
Yeah.
understanding what exactly that's supposed to mean. Is that supposed to mean the somewhat prequel-ish setup here with Snake Eyes, an origin kind of movie for him? I don't know what the real plan is there, but I do believe that this comes from the fact that yes, there have been fans that have been asking for this movie, and it's understood he's the most beloved character. If you're going to do a spin-off, it's going to be a Snake Eyes one. But it's interesting, the character that doesn't speak is going to have his own movie,
I
right?
know.
That's going to be awesome. I don't care. Like, give me a
You know what? You
silent
don't even
film and
see
I'd
his
watch it.
face too. I mean, it's so Snake Eyes was played by Ray Park, who played
Yes.
Darth Maul in the previous movies. He was very prominent on both, but more definitely prominent on the second one. And I think that well, Ray Park has really good body language, but he doesn't speak very well when he's acting. Of course, he was dubbed over on Star Wars. I don't Joel, I don't know if you've ever stumbled upon or seen the King of Fighters movie. It's a
Oh yes, I have heard. Yeah, yeah.
okay. So I mean, it's a movie based on the King of Fighters game series, and he plays Rugal in that movie, which he's supposed to be a very uh, uh what how should I say this, like a very dominant and prominent part of the game. He's 7 feet tall, ripped, white hair, very anime bad guy, right? And he played that character, and he was off. I mean, everyone was awful in that movie though, but it was like I watched that movie, man, and I was like, I was watching. I was like, it can't be worse than the Street Fighter movie, right? Right? It was. I mean, the Street Fighter movie is Infinity War next next to that. It's next to it's bad.
Wow, that's
It's
tough.
it was just
I,
awful.
but like I think that's the thing, right? Like talking about like the GI Joe movies beforehand, right? Like
Hmm.
we got the GI Joe Rise of Cobra and GI Joe Retaliation. Um, the first movie was watchable, not my favorite at all, but watchable.
Yeah,
Second movie was just I don't know what happened.
it was all over the
Um,
place. Yeah,
it was all over the place. The very beginning of the movie is the best of the movie,
yeah.
but um looking at what's going on with Paramount, they probably understand. This is just me spitball guessing here, right, from a business standpoint, why this is also happening. Like, I know that with Marvel and their properties, right, like before the whole Fox acquisition, there was this kind of decade rule, right? Like you had to put out a new Fantastic Four film every
Yeah.
years, or else the properties are public and can be acquired by another studio. So I kind of feel like this is what's going on here. You mentioned it before. It's been like 8 years since the last movie came out. So they're probably kind of moving this thing quickly in development. Therefore, so that way this doesn't become a property that someone else makes a film off of. My hope is that with us, assuming that that's the case, that this really does have a really good director attached to it. They've got the right steps with this actor, Crazy Rich Asians. I really liked that movie. It got a lot of recognition. It's a really nice movie if you haven't checked it out. And this actor does a really nice job in that movie. So I definitely am a fan of that. But I think what's going to really make or break this film is who's going to actually be the real director behind this, right? Like, there's already some discussions about who it's supposed to be, but until this stuff gets publicly, hey, this is what we're going in production with. This is the person who's officially running it. Then it will give me a better sense of what to expect. So I don't have big expectations, but I'm happy about a Snake Eyes movie. I just hearing it already, I'm like, yeah, I'll watch this movie. But
Yeah.
we'll see how good it will be based on who actually makes it, right?
Yeah, I think Paramount has some sort of partnership with Hasbro for this license. I think it's not just a property license. I think it's like an all-encompassing license
Oh,
because
wow.
they have Transformers, they have G.I. Joe,
True.
they have Battleship, they have all these Hasbro properties. Um,
Battleship.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I never watched that movie because it looked terrible, man. Um, and I know that Hasbro now has their own like studio branch.
Yes.
They're not only being the license the person that's holding or the company that's holding the license. They're also having input, and I think that came about with Bumblebee, where Hasbro has been more hands on with how their properties are being handled by Paramount, which are probably not Paramount's problem because I think Paramount. I mean, all in all, and we can criticize it all we want, but the Transformers franchise left Paramount like $4 billion, man.
They're
They
rich.
made a lot of money out of Transformers. So even having Michael Bay as a director, which
Oh yeah.
you know, I mean, we can say what Michael Bay can direct an action scene. He's good at
Yeah.
that, right? I mean, he can't. He's terrible at portraying human beings, but make stuff explode. He's great at, and he's great shooting that on screen. It looks great, but you know, I think that Hasbro is like they want to inject more personality into their properties when it comes to movies. So maybe they're moving in a new direction. And yeah, I mean, I would love to see another like even if it's a prequel, right? I think we did get some like Snake Eyes,
Yeah, the second one.
backstory on the second one.
Yeah.
But even if it's a prequel and just leading up to the moment that truly he became Snake Eyes. Wow, even if it's that'd be pretty cool. Having ninjas and all that stuff, and cyborg ninjas and all this. I'm in.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Cobra Commando.
Cobra. Yeah, I mean, you can probably bring Cobra Commander back because he didn't really get a lot of screen time on any other movies, especially in the first movie where he was played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt. It was great. It was brilliant, and then he he didn't come in for the second one.
No
Uh,
sense.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we'll see, we'll see. But Joe, there's a lot of stuff going up on the CW. Of course, Arrow's ending, Flash and Supergirl are continuing. I think Supergirl's getting updated with, an updated costume, um, and more stuff coming in. But they are going to do a crisis event and talk about how to get me to watch a damn show. It's I mean, they're like making the show that I think everyone has been wanting to see since Smallville ended, which is bringing all these people together, having their own version of the, not Justice League per se, but something close to that. And the big thing to me being, uh, the rumors that Kevin Conroy, who played Batman in the Batman animated series, and Mark Hamill will be replacing their roles as Bruce Wayne and the Joker, respectively. On top of that, Brandon Routh is coming back as Superman. They got apparently got leaked yesterday that the dude that played Clark Kent in Smallville, I forgot his name. Um, he is gonna come back as one of the Supermans. So yeah, man, talk about how to get people excited for a show. Tom Welling,
Yep.
yeah, Tom Welling is coming back as Superman. So man, I will record this, and if there's a Blu-ray of this, if this is actually good, I will buy it on Blu-ray. I'm saying now. I'm saying it now. If this thing is good, I will buy this on Blu-ray.
You do know this is the CW, man.
I'm saying if this is good, Joe. That's why I am saying if this is good, I will buy it on Blu-ray. I will watch it regardless.
Right,
But I
right,
will
right.
buy it if it's good.
I got you. No, it makes sense. It makes sense. I watched the last crossover event simply due to the fact that they were going to have on their, both, they were going to have on their Batgirl. And I talked to you, but I think you mentioned on the podcast when I was talking about it, I was like, look, the whole reason why I even watched it was, I've been watching the Arrow show, so I knew it was going to connect into, I knew it was going to be coming to an end soon. So I wanted to see what they were doing there. But also, like, just having Batgirl alone, or Batwoman, excuse me, just having Batwoman alone, I was like, look, like, I love Batman. So, like, if you have anything connected to that, I need to see what's going to happen here just for the sake of, like, I just need to know, right? It's kind of like the last couple episodes of Gotham. It was like, well, if Batman's going to be on the show at the end here, I need to see him in the suit, right? So, that's how I felt about that. And I finished out the last season of Arrow, this last season of Arrow. I know this officially is the last season of Arrow coming up. But hearing Kevin Conroy coming back in there, that's awesome because we've never seen a live action Bruce Wayne with Kevin Conroy, and fans
Oh,
have asked for it for a long time, dude.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I mean,
there's
of
no
course he'll play.
complaints.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, you're good. I'm saying, like, there's no issues I could see of why he should not play Bruce Wayne in a live action role like this. This makes sense on television.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, of course, he's going to be an older Bruce Wayne, but is going to be Bruce Wayne with the voice,
The voice. I
with
am
the
the
voice,
knight.
with
Yeah.
the voice, and then Mark Hamill as the Joker.
So the Mark Hamill one is
Uh,
interesting because that one is just the rumor mill right now. I
well, the thing
think
is that,
it can happen,
yeah,
but all the stuff I've been looking at, like, there's no real confirmation behind him actually doing it, but it makes sense for it to
yeah,
happen on the rumors.
yeah. I think it all comes from a an interview that Mark Hamill recently had, where he said it's like if Kevin's there, I'm there, and there's no going around it. He's like it's like what it came to the video games, right, to the Arkham series. He was like that.
Yes.
They asked him, was like, hey, you want to play the Joker? Is Kevin gonna do the thing? It's
Yep.
like, yeah, okay, yeah. So
And they do great together.
yeah, so I mean, it's a no brainer. I'm sure Mark Hamill would love to do a live action Joker, dude.
Right.
I'm sure he would love to do that.
And that would be like amazing. So if we already got the Kevin Conroy thing, but if the Mark Hamill thing like is concrete and happens, just the two of that already is enough to make us both extremely excited.
Yeah.
But then you got the Brandon Routh thing. Like, I did not see that coming because for a
Mhm.
long time fans were like, it would be cool just for the heck of it. Like, you've got this Elseworld stuff going on. That's what the last thing was. Like, why not just have a world where it just so happened he's Clark Kent and he's Superman, because we've seen him as Superman before in Superman Returns.
He
So
wasn't
I
bad.
hope he's wearing the Superman Returns suit. I hope it's like exactly looking like that without doing, like a wink wink kind of, thing with that would be really great. I really hope that's the case.
That was
Um,
a good suit.
yeah, it's a good suit, and don't let it be that it's like, oh yeah, this guy from Legends of Tomorrow is Superman in another universe. No, like he has to be Clark completely separate.
Yeah.
I hope that's the case. So we'll see. Um, Obed, yeah, these three things linked together. You and I were talking about it again. Super excited. I mean, Kevin Conroy, that's my Batman. Whenever I hear the voice of
Yeah, man.
Batman, that's the voice right
He
there.
is
So
the Batman.
he is the Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm definitely gonna check it out. Like I said, if it's good, I'll buy it on Blu-ray.
Sounds good.
Got my word. Joe, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we will be right back. And we're back. So, Joe, we do have some Nintendo news because there's apparently a Super NES controller for the Switch that just got patented. Um, I, I mean, to say that I saw this coming from a mile away is an understatement because I think the controllers, the Switch controllers for the NES Switch controllers that are available right now, when you subscribe to, you have to be a subscriber to the Nintendo Online, and I believe the controllers are like $60 if I'm not wrong. So are actually like legit NES controllers. Unfortunately, they're NES controllers, but there's apparently a patent filing for an SNES version of it, which is exciting because of two things. Of course, you will have a Super NES controller on the Switch, although you can use an 8-bit though Bluetooth controller right now on the Switch and it'll work. But the big thing being that this is signaling at the Switch, including SNES games on their online pack. So, Joel, how do you feel about SNES coming into the Switch? Is this a big deal?
It's a huge deal. I actually think that absolutely it's a foreshadowing. Like when this happens, because for the FCC to already be working on this thing, like this is happening. When it happens, we're definitely going to be getting these SNES games also to be coming on the online service as well. Like I think we're going to have access to it, and this wonderful process of bringing together both the new and the old, the way it's being done by Nintendo. No, I don't need to go and buy an SNES, mini. I don't need to go and do that. I can just have my Switch. And I can play. I mean, it's not gonna be everything, but whatever library they give us is gonna be a great opportunity on my Switch. I can feel like I'm having the same classic experience, of course, in a higher resolution now with the Switch being there. And I'm sure the monetary value behind it won't be too terrible. They've been fair for the most part, like you said about with the last store being about $60 or whatever. To me, that's fair for what you're trying to get out of it. Yeah, this is a really great move. I wonder how soon something like this would come into effect. Is this going to be something by the holidays, Obed? Is this later on? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I still think that Nintendo is holding some cards under their sleeve for this holiday season. So I could definitely see this being something that could potentially come out either early next year or towards the holidays. Um, I think that we're probably going to get another Nintendo Direct that's going to be of significance soon.
Okay.
More than likely around middle of September, to announce more stuff for the holidays.
Mm.
Maybe a holiday bundle for the Switch. Also, Joel, they went ninja and they released that updated Switch. I don't know if you saw that.
I did. That
Yeah,
better battery life.
yeah, with a better battery life and a better screen. Like the screen has better brightness, and you get almost like 33% better battery life out of it.
Which it
So
wasn't even that bad to begin with.
yeah, I mean, instead of getting like 3 hours, you get like 4.5 hours, which is great. So,
Wonderful.
um, yeah, they've been doing some really good stuff with how they're handling the Switch. Of course, the minis coming out in a few weeks. Pokemon's coming out in a couple months. Luigi's Mansion's coming out. They announced on Halloween Day, which is like a perfect day to release that game. Um, I think that again, going back to our E3 predictions, I still think that they're coming out with some ports of Zelda HD, because they want to keep fans engaged for when the sequel to Breath of the Wild comes out. So I'm pretty sure that we'll see either Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD, or we may even see a port of Skyward Sword, which is still stuck on the Switch, on the I'm sorry, on the Wii, because of the motion controllers. It hasn't been released. It wasn't released on the Wii U. Um, so maybe a port of that for the Switch would make sense. Um, yeah, I think they're planning stuff. But going back to the SNES stuff, like what you mentioned, you don't have to buy a separate device to play these games legally. Um, there's there's selection their selection for the NES titles has been okay. It hasn't been fantastic. They are more geared to the hardcore Nintendo fan, versus the overall NES fan, which is what the
Mm.
devices were
Mm.
more akin to. Like you buy the NES Mini or the SNES Mini, because this is the games that you remember playing when you have your SNES and your SNES. But they're going into a more traditional model with the NES stuff. I would love to see them expand. There's some fantastic games by Capcom and Konami and Irem and all these other old developers that made games for the NES, and of course I would love to see the same with the SNES games when they hit Switch. Have Castlevania 4, and I don't know who owns the TMNT arcade licenses anymore, because that used to be Konami, but I think now I don't know if you saw the I think we talked about it, the arcade one up
Yeah,
Ninja Turtles one.
yeah.
So that doesn't have a Konami logo on it. It has a Nickelodeon logo on it. It's
Mm.
weird.
That's
So
interesting.
I think there's something going on with that, with the TMNT license, where Konami is the developer, but they can no longer publish the game, and now Nickelodeon has the rights to publish the game. So maybe we'll get Turtles in Time or something. Turtles in Time is a fantastic. It's probably the best co-op beat 'em up on the SNES. So, I mean, it's a no-brainer. That game should be everywhere. Everyone should play that game, because that game's great, man.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, they're gearing up, and they have to expand, because next year's gonna be crazy, man.
It's gonna be a war, console war again.
Yeah, we're heading into a console war year. Um, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how good of a move it would be to release a console on election year. Maybe it'll be a good idea, because
You never know how
it'll
it
it'll
affects the
it'll
market.
yeah, and it'll get people, people's minds just out of the this whole
Oh yeah.
theatrics that are going on. So
Oh yeah.
so that actually may be a good idea. Um, but yeah, man. I think Nintendo's doing great. I think they're not putting all of their cards out there. They're making people wait, and that's great. They have plenty of meat to cut, and they have plenty of resources and franchises, and the most beloved IPs out there that they can use on the at their leverage. So yeah, I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, man, I agree.
Yeah. Joe Evo happened, and it was great. So that was um, a couple weekends ago. We did not talk about it on the last show because we wanted to concentrate on reminiscing. But I think the overall, man, it was a great show. It was funny because Saturday that Saturday that Evo was happening. it was pretty crazy because Evo was happening, the NBA 2K League finals were happening, and then there was an Apex Legends event. So all these three events were happening at the same time. So
Games,
here,
games, games.
yeah, man. So here I am switching between Evo for Street Fighter, Evo for Dragon Ball, because they're on different Twitch channels, and the 2K League finals. So I'm just going I'm just going between the three. Right, it got to the point where it got too much, so I just concentrated on Street Fighter and 2K. But uh, it was great, man. Just to see how big um competitive gaming is getting is just fantastic. So I'm really excited for not is no longer the future, man. That's the present. So
Yeah.
um, so they were some reveals. Unfortunately, again, Capcom had their reveals leaked, and Capcom was gearing up to reveal three new characters for Street Fighter V. So continuing support for this game. There was speculation that Street Fighter 6 was going to be shown. Um, but Yoshinori Ono, the producer, said no, I'm not bringing Street Fighter 6, so don't expect it. And of course, Ono is no longer the guy in charge of fighting games. I believe that the Monster Hunter guy, I forgot his name, is the one in charge of fighting games now. So I think we're gonna see Street Fighter 6 probably in like 2022, maybe in 3 more years. Um, and I think this is probably gonna be the last batch of characters for Street Fighter 5. And then, of course, was the return of E Honda, well, sumo wrestler, back from Street Fighter 2. So now the original Street Fighter 2 characters, all of the World Warriors, the 12 World Warriors are here. So now they're all in the game. Um, the other character they announced was Poison, back from Final Fight. She was on Ultra Street Fighter 4. She was on Street Fighter Cross Tekken. So she's back. She was a fan favorite. So yeah, Poison's back on Street Fighter 5. They did change her quite a bit mechanically, which is interesting. But yeah, Poison's back. And then Lucia, another Final Fight character, but this one's a more obscure one because this is a Lucia's a Final Fight 3 character. Final Fight 3 being an SNES exclusive game that is hard to come by right now. So not a lot of people actually had heard about Lucia. I was like, oh, they're bringing Lucia. That's cool because she's an obscure character from Final Fight, and you know they're bringing in all these characters. Now there's quite a few of Final Fight characters now in Street Fighter 5. There was a bunch of them on Street Fighter 4 and Ultra by the time Ultra came in. So yeah, that's cool. But yeah, Joel, I'm curious to see how any of these characters are. Of course, I haven't bought them yet, but I'm curious to jump back into Street Fighter and
I'll
see
say,
how
does,
things are.
does this make you want to get back in now? And I mean, because they've done a couple character updates here and there. You're saying this could be the last one now for this
Yep.
this one here. Like, how does this make you? I know you love Street Fighter. How does it make you feel about jumping back in?
Yeah, it makes me feel good. I want to get back in. I wish I had more time to spend just
Yeah.
practicing, which I don't. I used to have that time anymore. I don't have that time anymore. Um, when Street Fighter, I put hundreds of hours on Street Fighter 4, and I think I did okay.
Hmm.
Um, but on Street Fighter 5, unfortunately, I just haven't had not the desire because I still want to, but I just haven't had the time to put into it. And when when I was playing Street Fighter 4, there was a lot of games coming out. I'm still playing other games, but instead, I jump into now it's like every game that comes out, dude. It's so good that it's like I have to make choices. Either I play this brand new experience or do I go back to Street Fighter? And I really do want to go back, and I really do want to go back to Dragon Ball, because they, uh, it was speculated that Janemba was going to be one of the characters that was going to be released for Dragon Ball. That just came out. All these characters are for Street Fighter are available. I really want to jump back in, but it's just that I need to find the time, and I need to find the times where I feel like I'm not gonna get salty. um, I am already a salty individual, so I don't want to get even
You are
salty.
the salt.
I am the salt. I don't want to get even saltier. But
It's
if I had,
impossible.
yeah, yeah, I don't know, that C over here. Um, but I really want to, um, put some more time on it, and I mean, hopefully, I can, I can get back in. I really, really do want to. If I had the time, if I had the, if I had the ability, right, to sit down and practice for a couple hours a day. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be every day, and it doesn't have to be all day. A couple hours a day, couple days a week, um, and try to get out there with the community more, and try to do more like community engagement and whatnot. I'm very passionate about the FGC, so I wish I could just be more engaged, but unfortunately, I don't have the time, and they don't pay my bills, and I gotta work. So
That's
it's
right.
it's
Responsible adults, right? Adulting.
no, absolutely, absolutely, yeah, exactly,
That
exactly,
balance.
yeah. So, um, but I'm excited. I'm excited, Joel. I mean, I'm super excited for Guilty Gear
2020.
2020. They're calling it 2020. I mean, of course, I think there's going to be this like a placeholder title. But Joe, those graphics, the like XR looks fantastic. I mean, we saw, yeah, because you saw it when you went to CO. I mean, I've owned the game for a
Yep.
while now, but that game even now looks fantastic. This is some next level anime stuff here, because they're making it look like it's pencil drawn, you know, animations that they're doing, and it's basically all Unreal Engine. It's ridiculous. Like it's like they're using Unreal Engine, and I don't think in a way that it's supposed to be used. So it's I'm blown away. It just looks so good, man. And I can't wait to see this game in action. One thing that they said is that they want to um make the game more accessible. They say that they don't want to oversimplify it, but they want to make the game, excuse me, more accessible. Because Guilty Gear is for the hardcore of the hardcore. This is for this. This has mechanics on mechanics on mechanics. This is not Street Fighter. This is not Mortal Kombat. This is like this next level stuff. So um, I can't wait to see what they do with it. I am very, very excited. I am very excited for fighting games because there's a bunch of stuff coming out. There's even like a Flappy Bird fighting game coming out. It looks ridiculous. Um, but I'm really excited. Fighting games is something that I love, and I really want to.
James Chen.
James Chan, yeah. uh, it's something so great, like what Taquito said that they just start crying over here. Um, and I want to see the community grow. And there seemed to be a change of sentiment in the community lately, where a lot of the guys at Evo and a lot of the talk that came out of Evo was um, that they're getting ready to like put aside this grassroots thing that they had going on for 20 years and actually just make it like a niche, like a big competitive sports thing, which is what I've been wanting the FGC to be for the longest time. um, Riot Games said that they're coming out with a fighting game. So they said it at Evo. So that may be the game that pushes, Capcom and Arxis and all this game and all these other companies to push forward and bring the FGC to the next level. So we'll see, man. I'm very excited.
Very good. Very good.
I want to get back in. I need to find time. spend a bunch of money on this Fire Sticks that's right here next to me. So
and stream it on Twitch.
I should, even if I get wiped, I'll be
Still
all
do
right.
it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ban hammer people or rage quit. I'm not that kind of person. So
Nope.
yeah, I should, man. I mean, we'll see. Joe, that's what we got, man. If
That's
you
right.
want to go ahead and give everyone a reminder about the giveaway and plug us in, man.
Absolutely, guys. We just want to thank you for watching our show. Of course, as our thank you in our last episode, episode 100, we mentioned about our giveaway that's going on. So make sure you're a subscriber to our show on any of our subscription platforms, iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, and of course on YouTube. And then in addition to that, please make sure to send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. In the title subject area, put in there no load time giveaway. Tell us what your favorite game is, why it's your favorite game, and then which game you'd like to win, whether that be Metal Gear Solid or Assassin's Creed, the Ezio collection. And with that being said, we'll inform you if you are the winner within the next week or so here. So look out for that. Make sure to send your submission in as soon as you can. Guys, thank you so much. Make sure to also follow us on our social media. Follow us at No Load Time on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. Share the giveaway. We've got video up there already. Go ahead and share that with your friends. Let them know. People that are PS4 owners that are really excited. Share it with them. Maybe they could win. There's not even an age requirement on this thing, guys. This is a great opportunity to win something. Little Billy can win. With that also
This
being
game's already mature though, so.
well, we're saying you can win. We're not saying you can play it.
There you go.
That's my little 2 cents there. With that also being said, though, guys, really thank you so much. We've got a lot of great stuff in store here for our next 100 episodes. Obed, I know I'm telling you about this, but Sunday it will be the day that I am in Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge here in Hollywood Studios. I got a special preview opportunity, so I will be probably doing some IG stories or some posts on our social about it. So make sure to be following us, like I mentioned, on our platforms. And guys, we look forward to seeing you on our next episode.
Thank you guys, and we'll see you again next time.